Welcome to your DVD tour of the parks Bracknell. If you came through Bracknell on your way here, or if you already live in the town, you may have noticed some changes happening around the place. In fact, it's hard not to notice, because the town's undergoing a huge facelift. Not just cosmetic improvements either, but changes that will make a genuine difference to the quality of life here. Everything in the town's going to be better, from housing to shopping to the business environment. The idea is to create a place residents can be really proud of and use as a fantastic place to meet, go shopping or go out in. When the regeneration project is complete, you'll be able to shop in a super modern mall with its huge transparent roof and discover new shops, cafes, parks and performance spaces everywhere, intermingled with trees and public art installations. Even a waterfall, what with cycleways, better street lighting, safer pedestrian routes and an all-round spirit of renewal which will include housing, leisure, big-name department stores and smaller, more personal shops, Bracknell's a pretty good place to be. The parks is all part of the new Bracknell, George Wimpey's contribution to the variety of new homes the town needs. And it's something pretty special. Coming in over the entrance, it's clear that this isn't a boring, soulless housing estate, but rather a development that's bespoke to Bracknell. There's an interesting roofscape, the kind of variety you see in local streets like Broad Lane. There are boulevards, all set in a wonderful mature and green traditional landscape with mature trees retained as focal points. This is a development that doesn't dominate the landscape, but rather responds to it. The housing element has been designed around the trees. That has to be the right way to do it. There are no differences between rented, shared ownership or private, but there are impressive differences in choices of house type. Add to that the variety of materials, roof lines, and a streetscape that isn't dominated by black tarmac. Traditional, varied homes with modern, simple, classic detailing, and most of them have their own private garden space. Take a stroll and you'll come across what we call outdoor rooms, areas of complementary but varying character. As well as offering a more stimulating environment to walk the dog and peek at other people's houses, it offers choices for the way we want to live. Mature trees really help to give these squares a sense of place, and when the landscape team have added native planting and wildflowers, they'll be havens of biodiversity. This is something you rarely get in new housing developments. For example, more green spaces, pocket parks, village greens planted with drought-resistant species with climate change in mind, walkways and cycleways, making it a place not dominated by the car, but with ample parking provision. We're working really hard on this. This is Ramslade House. There are plans to sympathetically renovate it so that it becomes the focal point for another outdoor room. Computer simulations can't show the real quality of the space, but with the proposed high-quality surfaces, this public space will be as pretty as a picture. And note proper balconies, with space for tables and chairs on their houses with privacy strips. The Parks is connected to the wider community with its own dedicated bus service, which runs to Bracknell bus station, a journey that takes well under 10 minutes. Frequent connections every 15 to 20 minutes or so mean that it's easy to leave the car at home and take the bus into town. When complete, our proposed play areas will have an exciting range of equipment, all designed to challenge, stimulate and tire children out. This will be a place to get outdoors and do things. There's a quick glimpse of the ponds that, as well as providing visual and educational benefits, also have a practical role as part of a sustainable urban drainage system. We have a wonderful opportunity to create a landmark open space for the residents and the wider community. We'd like it to be sculptural, artistic, relaxing, beautiful. We'll talk to the community and come up with something together. Sections of the scheme nestle into and are screened by the existing forest. All homes come with secure and decent-sized cycle storage. We hope people will be getting on their bikes for those short trips into town, or exploring the cycle routes which will open up the mature woodlands and open space of this former RAF site to the new residents and the existing community. We care about the environment, and even the bats get their own special facilities, luxury bat barns within the grounds. They're lucky, they don't even need a mortgage. In line with Eco Homes criteria, the houses have A-rated roofs to aid energy efficiency, sustainable rated construction materials, solar panels as optional extras, rainwater collection butts, timber windows, cycle storage, low flush loos, low flow showers and taps, pull-out clothing lines in the apartments, low energy and low emission boilers, low energy lamps and so on. In terms of design for disability, we've provided external access in accordance with the building regulations and the DDA legislation, including the paths across the open space. We're also providing 6 disabled houses across the scheme. Internally, all dwellings are designed in compliance with Part M of the building regulations, allowing access by disabled visitors. These are streets and houses on a human scale. And who lives in houses like this? People who like contemporary homes, those that prefer open plan, and those that don't. People who understand the value of large open windows and light flooding into their homes. Oh, and people who separate their rubbish. People who like their home to flow into their garden, who like privacy, but realize there is value in community. In fact, community is one of the keynotes of life at the parks, because we're providing homes for every kind of buyer: 2, 3 and 4 bedroom houses and 2-bedroom apartments. We hope the sheer variety of homes available will help to create a genuine community with a real cross-section of residents. And we want those residents to get out there and enjoy life together in the great outdoors ways we're planning to provide at the development. We're starting with a huge natural asset: the setting. The parks, as the name implies, isn't just squeezed into a few hundred square meters of land, but occupies 44 hectares. After all, this was once an RAF facility, and the services have never stinted themselves when it comes to space. Today, the people who move to the parks will inherit this great resource, and there's practically no limit to what can be done there. The parks is perfect for all ages. Nowadays, we hear so much about couch potato kids who don't get enough exercise. Often, though, it's simply because there's nowhere safe enough for them to play. This won't be the case at the parks. If they're interested in wildlife, there'll be plenty to engage them as they potter around the place, perhaps spotting bats, butterflies, foxes, rabbits, and waterborne creatures in the ponds. Creating wildlife habitats is part of our remit, and something we're particularly keen to do well. With all this beautiful parkland literally at the end of the garden, going out for walks will soon become a regular part of life. Whether they're leisurely strolls in the summer sunshine or a way of blowing off the winter cobwebs, this is a great way to keep fit and bring people together. And bringing people together is what the parks is all about. So, what will it be like to live here? Well, just look out of the window and imagine your new home in a setting as glorious as this. Ask one of our sales team for more details, and it could all become yours sooner than you think.